You're soft as heck, homie. Don't make me speak. That's a stimulant. Hey, man. Ureus is... Hey, homie. That's a stimulant, man. Ureus. That's a stimulant. Hey, man. Ureus is... Hey, homie. That's a stimulant. That's a stimulant. Ureus. That's gonna stimulate, man. Ureus is... Hey, homie. That's a stimulant. That's gonna stimulate. Ureus. That's a stimulant. That's gonna stimulate, homie. She's digging, man. Hey, go home. What up? It's Garage GYMHOMIE, baby. And today is the day. We're already at step 11. Is it worth it? Before we get into this here, please click the subscribe button. I got content coming out all the dang time for you, man. So click subscribe and let's get into this. So we've gone through a series together, man, of all the steps up to 11 now. And step 11 reads, first of all, man, I hope you're all feeling amazing, living from your heart and staying out of your noisy head. And this is a great step, talking about our noisy heads, man, treating them right there. So, you know, we do 1 through 9 and 10, 11, and 12 are growth steps. We got to continue growing, because we can only stay sober and be recovered addicts and alcoholics based on our spiritual status, man, being growing spiritually, and we can't slack on that, because I've been a recovered addict, alcoholic for 10 and a half years, and the obsession to drink and get high has never returned to me. But the craziness in my head has, and I deal with it as it comes in, and that's why we were given step 10. So step 11 and how it works reads, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understand Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. So it says, it's interesting. We're gonna pick it apart here, man, because, you know, I don't speak out of my head, man. I speak out of the book. It says prayer and meditation. Before I forget, there's a reason for everything here. Prayer, it says first, then meditation. I can't go into meditation without praying first. That's because I'm an alcoholic, man, and my head is noisy. I can't just dive right into meditation unless I go to God first and ask Him to quiet down the noise in my head. So then I can go into meditation. So there's a reason they say prayer and meditation and not the opposite order. So it says, step 11 suggests prayer and meditation. We shouldn't be shy on this matter of prayer. Better men than we are using it constantly. All right, it says here, this is really interesting. It says when we retire at night. So step 11 is like a clock. It starts at night, it goes to the morning, and then it goes all throughout the day. So it says when we retire at night. That's really interesting. Step 11 starts at night. And it's really kind of interesting because I'm Jewish, and all the Jewish holidays start at night, which is kind of, an interesting thing to think about. So you would think that the step would start in the morning, but it starts at night. It says, when we retire at night, we constructively review our day. So every night I have to do a daily review. I used to sit in jail, man, and I was already a recovered addict, alcoholic. I had to turn myself in to clear up some warrants from the past. And I was guiding addicts and alcoholics through the 12 steps in jail. God had blessed me, and I felt free in there because I was cleaning up the past. And we used to do this every night, man. We used to get in a group of circle of guys and go and review our day. 6 questions we asked. Every night I do this. Every night we review our day. Where were we resentful, selfish, dishonest, or afraid? Where were we? Do we owe an apology? Have we kept something to ourselves which should be discussed with another person at once? That means immediately. Were we kind and loving towards all? What could we have done better? Were we thinking of ourselves most of the time, or were we thinking of what we could do for others, of what we could pack into the stream of life? 6 questions. I have to ask myself those every night, and those are ingrained in me. I know those because I go through this step. It says, we must be careful not to drift into worry, remorse, or morbid reflection, for that would diminish our usefulness to others. After making our review, we ask God's forgiveness and inquire what corrective measures should be taken. So that's a prayer. God, I ask for your forgiveness. Please help me with whatever corrective measures should be taken. The point of that is so I go to sleep with my soul rested. So I'm not going to sleep in anger or fear with a bunch of loose ends that aren't tied up. You might go to sleep and get 10 hours of sleep, but you got all this fear and craziness you haven't dealt with in your head. You might feel like you got 4 hours of sleep, or you might be someone who puts their heart and soul into these steps. You only get 6 hours of sleep, but you feel rested. Your soul is rested. So doing this step makes sure that you have no loose ends. It starts at night. We review our day, then we pray. And then I pray for others, what corrective measures should be taken. I thank God for the day. I pray for others, whatever prayers we want, but it's giving us an outline here. And then it says, on awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. So that's a meditation right there, right when we wake up. We consider our plans for the day before we begin. See, it says before we begin, prayer, then meditation. We ask God to direct our thinking, especially asking that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. I say this every freaking morning without fail. God, please direct my thinking, especially to divorce my thoughts from self-pity, self-seeking, and dishonest motives. I'm basically saying, God, please get in my head before I do. Right away, God directs my thinking when I wake up. That way, this thing doesn't start trying to destroy me right away. God, right away. And then we go into that. It says, think about the 24 hours ahead. What are our plans for the day? I'm going to wake up. I'm going to let the dogs out. I'm going to pump some iron. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to help my grandma, whatever the heck it is, man. It says, under these conditions, we can employ our mental faculties with assurance. After all, God gave us brains to use. Our thought life will be placed on a much higher plane when our thinking is cleared of wrong motives. In thinking about our day, we may face indecision. We may not be able to determine which course to take. Here we ask God for inspiration, intuitive thought, or a decision. We relax and take it easy. We don't struggle. We are often surprised how the right answers come after we have tried this for a while. It's basically saying we might go into the day and not really know an answer to something. What are we going to do, in this situation? Things come up in our lives. Just because we're recovered alcoholics or whatever doesn't mean that life doesn't happen. We ask God for the right thing, and then it says we listen. We take it easy, and the answers come. We already have the answers deep within. This is about growing to know that we can rely on God to find it doesn't say when we face indecision, you call your sponsor. It doesn't say when you face indecision, you go to an AA meeting. That's not what the book says. We call God, and then we take it easy and we listen. And the answer comes to us. This is free. This is deep, dude. And I'm fired up when I'm talking about God, man. And when I'm not talking about God, I'm taking credit for things I didn't do. It says what used to be the hunch or the occasional inspiration gradually becomes a working part of the mind. Being still inexperienced and having just made conscious contact with God, it is not probable that we are going to be inspired at all times. So then it says, We usually conclude the period of meditation with a prayer that we be shown all throughout the day what our next step is to be, that we be given whatever we need to take care of such problems. God, please show me what my next step is to be. Please provide me with whatever I need to take care of such problems in my life today. I say it every morning, just like that. I know it in the deepest place in my heart. The trick is, don't say it from your head. Pray from your heart so you feel the words you're saying. That's where I fall short sometimes. Just going through the motions isn't enough. You got to say it from here so you're feeling the words. It says, we ask especially for freedom from self-will and are careful to make no requests for ourselves only. We may ask for ourselves, however, if others will be helped. We are careful never to pray for our own selfish ends. Many of us have wasted a lot of time doing that, and it doesn't work. You can easily see, God, please help me. Give me freedom from self-will. Help me on how I can be helpful to these other sick and suffering addicts and alcoholics. Please, God, help me. Your will, God, be done, not mine. So there's a lot here. If circumstances warrant, we ask our wives or friends to join us in morning meditation. If we belong to a religious denomination, you do that, yada, yada, So it says when we go through our day, so now we've done the nighttime, it's like a clock. Step 11 just goes round and round. The nighttime to the morning, now I have my body armor on for the day. That's what step 11 is. That's your body armor. Because if I just wake up and blast into the day and I don't have my armor on, I didn't pray to God, I didn't ask him to direct my thinking, I didn't do my morning meditation, I didn't pray for others, whatever the other prayers are, then I'm unarmed. And I can't go in the day unarmed, man. That's dangerous for me. This thing right here is trying to destroy me and go nuts. I got to have my body armor on for what's going to come up during the day, what's going to crop up, as it says in step 10. I got to be armed because resentment comes up, fear comes up, selfishness, dishonesty. Now I got my armor on. So it's dangerous not to do this because then we're unarmed in the day. And so it says, as we go through the day, so now nighttime, morning, all through the day, when agitated or doubtful, and ask for the right thought or action. We constantly remind ourselves we are no longer running the show, humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, thy will be done. We are then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self-pity, or foolish decisions. We become much more efficient. We do not tire so easily. God gives us power. God gives us that fire that we have. That doesn't come from me. I'm an undisciplined, unstructured alcoholic, homie. My power comes from God. That's why I rely on. We become much more efficient. We were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. It works. It really does. So we alcoholics are undisciplined. So we let God discipline us in the simple way we have just outlined. I mean, do you hear that? People say, how are you so disciplined? How do you have such... I don't take credit for that. God disciplines me. As I stay close to him, I have the power and the strength to be disciplined. Anyway, the point is this. I fall short constantly. You're going to fall short. The most spiritual of people fall short. That's why this is a growth step. To grow towards our ideals. Yeah, I pray every morning. Yeah, I pray every night. But throughout the day when things come up, do I stay in my head or do I go to God right away and ask him for the right decision? I fall short of that all the time. I go to my head instead of going to God, to my heart. So this is a growth step, and we continue to grow, and it lasts for a lifetime. And then we're going to move into step 12 together on the next video. And there's a whole chapter dedicated to step 12, which is working with others. Whole chapter. I'm going to talk all about sponsorship. That's what I got. I hope you like that. This is about prayer, meditation, and growing our relationship with God and enhancing our relationship by having this conscious contact where we consciously put time aside to pray, to meditate, to sit with God, to listen. Pray. A lot of us pray, talking out, we're constantly praying, but we fall short sitting still and listening for the answer. Garage Gym Homie, man, I prayed and prayed and prayed. I don't get the answer. Well, did you listen? No, I just prayed. Well, that you can't just pray and not listen. A little less praying, a little more listening, a little more balance, So this is prayer and meditation, not one or the other. They got to go together. When we pray, we got to sit still and listen. That's what I got. Hit the like button, leave a comment. God bless all of you. Together, let's get this dang muscle, man. I hope you like that. I'm out.